So we are back, everybody, and just want to get something set up before we start. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry for that technical glitch. We were on and then we're off, but now we are back on. Um, oh, hold on a second. Just want to get something set up. We're in for a treat. We are in for a treat. Okay, here we go. Welcome to our grad live interviews, everybody. Sorry for that glitch. We're back. So, if you heard the intro before, I'm going to say it again, just in case we have some newbies watching. So, every year I like to interview my grads because I can talk about the Frame Drum Academy courses all day and how awesome they are because they're my babies. But there's nothing like hearing it from our grads about their experiences. So today we have three wonderful grads joining us. We have Pete, Arrow, and Kathy, and we're going to learn about their drum stories. And if you have any questions you want to share, you can please type it in the box below, and we will make sure that we ask it to our interviewees. And also, I just wanted to let you know that our Frame Drum Academy courses are open right now at the early bird pricing. And we currently only open our doors once a year. So that's why if you've been on my Facebook page, you've been seeing all this promotion because, we want to make sure that those who are interested join us, and they join us when the price is at the early bird. And in addition to that, I'm offering a special Facebook exclusive bonus today that if you sign up by the end of the day, you will also get 2 free bonus trainings that value almost $200. And to get that, you just say, I would like the Facebook bonus trainings. After you enroll, you send me an email, and you can find my email on the course website. So the course website is framedrumacademy.com, and we offer beginner and intermediate training courses. Both courses these students have been through. And so without further ado, we're going to start with Pete, our first interviewee. And Pete is a guy, as you can see. And so for a lot of men watching, they think the academy is just for women. And although the frame drum is a women's drumming tradition, men play it. And I say that 99% of my teachers were men. So this is an instrument for both sexes. So without further ado, Pete, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So I know that you've been a drummer before. And so what drew you to learn about the frame drum from being, because you were like a set drummer, right?
I've been a set drummer all my life, but I've done a little percussion with djembe and bongos and conga. But anyway, like I was saying, I saw a post of a beautiful frame drum. I didn't know what a frame drum was. I saw a post of a beautiful drum, and I clicked on it and commented on how beautiful it was, and I just had to have one just to put in my collection. You know what I mean? I didn't know what it was, but I knew this girl painted them and it was beautiful. So I contacted her and, we touched base, and she said, fine, send me a drum and I'll paint it for you. Tell me what you want on it. So I'm kind of a symbolism type guy, so I like all kinds of symbolism. So I wanted the tree of life on it, so there it is. This is the drum she painted for me.
And how did you hear about the academy courses?
I'm getting to it.
Oh,
So I put that on the wall for a year. Never touched it. Scrolling through Facebook one day, I saw you playing one of your ebony head drums. And I almost want to cry.
aw.
It was something like I had never seen before. And I said, I have to try that. And I had the drum, and I didn't even know it, So that's how I met you, and that's how I got involved. I immediately, got on the family page, and it's all history from there, Fell in love with it, was able to afford some of the Coopermans, which I was lucky to be able to afford at the time, thanks to the government. But that's it. That is it. I haven't stopped since. I play every day. I play boxes. I have, you know, I when I can't, I play. This is my apartment, and I can't play here anymore. So I have a studio, which I do all my playing at. But that's my story. That's how I met you, and that's how I got involved with the FDA, and it changed my life.
Ah, well, you're someone who, I could really see was enjoying the course. And, Pete actually created, do you have one of your stands that you created?
I
Can
have
you
them all right here.
can you show us one? So he went and he
Well,
created
I
a
don't have the
frame
big
drum
one that I just
stand,
made,
and he's
but
created now like a hybrid
I
setup.
have.
It's like crazy.
So I have simple ones like this. This is a
Mhm.
straight legged. It's a straight leg stand, and I just use it sometimes when I'm playing lap style, so I can play my big drum um, lap style, so it sits pretty much at a good height for me to play this big drum lap style without it being up here. I have. I'm not going to put that. I got to be careful now because I have trouble seeing, so I have to make sure everything. So that's a big leg, and it's a straight leg. It doesn't adjust or anything. Then I have,
It's really cool how innovative you've been, and like how you just
you
like
know,
no one
and
told
I'll
you
tell you
to.
why. I saw so many, people that they kept raising the question, how can I do this? What I mean, I'm having problems with it. And that's what really spurred me on. My originals were just single little legs. But so now I've, expanded and evolved, so to speak, to this stand, which, I could take a drum, even smaller than a 16 and throw this baby on there.
So he's what we call a drum junkie.
So, so I've
Also one of
taken,
us.
normally, obviously, when you play freehand, that's how you play. And,
Yeah.
I can do it without any problem. But I just, developed these and ended up using them myself. Now, this is adjustable, and I can put this for a big drum or a small drum. So, if I set it for this 16-inch, there I go. There you go. And
Very,
that's
very cool.
adjustable.
So you guys, he's playing in a style that one of our modules is dedicated to, which is the freehand style. And in all my years of studying this style and playing in the style, I've never seen anyone create a stand like that. So this is a super useful stand for us frame drummers out there, and it's like super simple too. It's lightweight. But anyways, so tell me, Pete, what was your favorite thing about studying in the Frame Drum Academy?
Um, that's a tough question. I don't know. I guess I have to say it was opening up this creative, you know, chest that had been locked up in me. You know what I mean? I just started creating. And of course, I saw you loop, and I said, I got to do that. I mean, I got to buy a looper, and and I just, use. You can see my first loop. It's unbelievably terrible, and I've come a long way since then. But I think opening up my creative side is probably, I mean, other than learning how to play the frame drum, I mean, it's an incredible instrument. I mean, but the creativeness, the ability for me to be able to sit down and make music. I mean, it's just amazing what it's done for me.
Ah,
Um, yeah.
great. I didn't pay him to say this. It's great. It's exactly what I wanted you to say. That creativity.
I
That's
mean,
that's what
and
it gives to me too. It gives me this joy of creativity. And I think that when we're creative, whether if it's cooking, we've got a great chef we're interviewing soon, by the way. Or if it's, drumming or poetry or sound healing, it's using the tools of creativity that I think will keep us happy and alive for a long time. I feel like that's a fountain of youth.
I'm
You know?
70 years old.
God, that's
I'm
good. Baruch
feeling
Hashem,
great.
we say.
I'm
So,
feeling great. I mean, I could drop tomorrow, but I feel great today. You know what I mean? Um,
that's great. You
it's
don't look
just
70. Well, I don't
helped
know
my
what 70
mind.
looks
It's
like.
helped my memory. It's I don't know. It's just giving me a real great,
Well,
better.
drumming is also very good for the mind.
Yeah,
It's incredible. I call it fish oils for the mind because your mind is focused and it's focused on the rhythms and it keeps your mind active and not just like dead. So I think it's
it
very,
does. It's
you know,
for 3 years now. All I've been doing is playing the frame drum.
wow. So Pete, what would you say for somebody sitting on the Frame Drum Academy fence? Because we get
Well,
all,
I mean, I know the big issue is the money, and I basically live on peanuts. And I made it work. One way or the other, I made it work. I mean, I know some people aren't as lucky as others, don't have that. I say lucky, nothing, no luck about it. It's just, but I mean, it's just something that obviously, if you're on the family page, you're there for a reason. It's because you love the drum. You love what it's, you feel that something is there for you. So, I mean, if you can swing it, do it because it's going to change your life. I mean, if you're a spiritual person, it's going to change your life. If you're just into the music, it's going to change your life. I mean, it's that's what it's all about. And if you're on the fence, and there's that little, you can do it if you want to. Do it. Do it.
thank you,
Just do it.
Pete. So sweet. People are saying that you're inspirational, and that Marjeline writes, "So nice to hear how it started for you, Peter, and to witness what the Academy has done for you." Joyce
Unbelievable.
writes, "I love Pete's creativity and his positive problem-solving attitude." So before we leave with you, Pete, may you play for us a little bit?
Yeah, I'm gonna play.
Are you nervous to play for us? Are you excited? How do
I'm
you
getting
feel
to the
about it?
point where it doesn't bother me anymore.
Ah, and at
I
the
just I
beginning,
just
how were
hate
you
making
feeling?
I just hate making mistakes. But I
But
like to keep it simple when I do these things. I mean, everybody out there, if you think posting a video on the page is tough, try this live stuff. So anyway, let's go back in time when the frame drum was an infant and it was based on the element, he based everything on the elements: water, fire, earth, and air.
let's
Thank you,
give
Marla.
everybody a round of applause for Pete. It's not easy to get on here on Facebook and do this in front of
I
people.
owe that all to you,
Ah, thank you.
and that was for you.
Ah, thank you, Pete. Well, we're really grateful for you and the Frame Drum Academy and for all the inspiration you give everybody.
Thank you.
And
And
we'll
and you're
see.
much appreciated. Absolutely.
Great.
Thanks
Okay.
for all your teaching
Oh,
and your wisdom and your spectacular, spectacular playing.
thank you.
You're my inspiration.
Oh,
Thanks.
hmm.
And get off the fence. Just do it. If you got the money, do it. Get the money, do it.
This is the most beautiful setup you got going. That is so cool. A little,
Thank
anyways.
you. See my
And
flutes?
mm-hmm. And if anybody who's a frame drummer out, watching this, he makes really cool stands in the freehand style. You know, you can
All
look.
kinds of, I
Yeah.
mean,
We're going to continue on with our other interviews.
thank
Thank
you.
you. What you said was really heartwarming and beautiful. And I will see you in 303 this year.
I hope I
Uh,
can swing it.
we'll swing it. We'll make sure you swing it. So our next interviewee is Arrow, and Arrow. When I came back from Israel, she sent me this loaf of bread that was the best loaf of bread I've ever had in my life. It was zucchini and chocolate and like banana bread, and I just fell in love with this woman and her beautiful spirit. And when we set out the invites to be interviewed, Arrow volunteered. So it's good, so good to have you here. And I feel like I already know you because I really enjoy your food vibe. She's a great cook, and I don't know if do you have a business cooking? Do you have a food business?
I have a chocolate business that I'm on hiatus right now, but
Ah, okay. So we won't talk about it. But she's really good. So tell me, what drew you to learn about the frame drum?
well, it's a real personal story for me. My daughter passed away, and we were burying her ashes last March 26th, 2022. And I had invited some drummers and flautists to come and play. And one of my friends who's drummer, and I've never seen this drum. She brought a drum out, a frame drum out, and she started playing it. And my heart just cracked open. It just cracked open in a big way. And I listened to her play, and it's like, that's what I played drums, djembes and goofed around with drums for several years, and looking for that feeling and never finding it. And when I heard the frame drum, it's like, that's what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for. And so I said, okay, I've got to get that drum. Well, it turns out it was an 18-inch Glenn Velez Cooperman drum. And so I ordered the drum, and I had to wait 4 weeks for it to come because they made it for me. And while I was waiting, I went on YouTube looking for people playing frame drums, Coopermans in particular. And Marla, you just kept coming up. It's like you just kept popping up all over the place. There was Marla Leigh, and I was like, I just like fell in love with you then, just listening to your videos, watching your videos. And so I kept watching and watching and Googling, you and found Frame Drum Academy. And I was like, okay, yeah, I want to do that. I want to do that. So then I started a conversation with you about it. And um, there that's how I found you and found Cooperman. I didn't even know about Cooperman. So yeah. And the way frame drum feels for me is I'm healing my heart one beat at a time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Chills. That's something we say in our academy. Help heal the world one beat at a time.
Yes.
So I'm again sorry for the loss of your daughter, and she is so happy that the day that she left this world, that you found the medicine of the drum to connect to her.
I feel like it was a gift from her.
Yeah.
I absolutely feel like, Clover was like, here, mama.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah. So
Yeah, it's a powerful story, and I think the drum appears to us when we are ready, and I feel like you were really ready, and um, I know that Arrow purchased, so we have a bundle package, which is both courses, and I know that she was she purchased the bundle last year, and
Yep.
she went through the other course this by herself without me, which means that she's like seriously, passionate about learning. And so I really admire your dedication and your passion. And um, how do you use frame drumming in your life now? Like, how do you use it in your daily life? Because I know you just retired.
He did just retire last August, and so I get to drum every day. I just drum every day. And I had a partner that I was drumming with regularly, and that didn't work out. So now I drum wherever I can. And like on Wednesdays, I volunteer at a vegetarian bakery that's run by the meditation center that I go to.
I
So
go.
this morning, yes, come. In fact, I talked about you this morning. So I got there really early so that I could come here and be here for this interview on time. And it was just the manager and I, and he's a drummer. And we started playing bowls. We just started like turning bowls upside down and just playing. And I never would have done that before I did this course. Never, never, never. I would have wanted to. I so would have wanted to. And I never would have done it. Now it's like somebody starts playing, I feel free to play. And in fact, there's music going, Indian music going all the time at the bakery. And I just stop chopping vegetables and start playing a bowl. Just
Oh,
so fun. So that this has given me confidence that I never had. I would go to open mic nights and drag like a djembe or little steel drum, something, and people didn't even know I was there. I'm 5'11", so I'm not like a tiny person, a small presence, but I would play so quietly that people never remembered that I would even come. And now it's like I go to open mics now and I play and I play. It is so fun, and it feels like I've gotten so much growth out of drumming. I just can't even express how much this has changed my life, and the confidence I've gotten, and it's lowered my anxiety. I truly do feel like it's healing my heart.
hmm. Hmm.
Yes. So take that one in, Marla.
I'm taking it in. I'm very grateful that you heard the call and you pursued it, and you're freeing your heart and your soul. And for me, I've been playing music my whole life since I was a little girl, and I lost my mom at a young age, and it was also a way that I connected to find myself and feel that grounding and that connection. So I totally can understand, and I'm so happy that we say at chutzpah, you got the courage, to play with others, because that's what it's about. It's about sharing the drum and playing, and that's why I encourage the students in the academy to make videos and share, and we're here to support you. And playing on bowls is amazing. In fact, my first mentor, John Bergamo, he has a whole album that he created recorded in his kitchen of like really cool. It's amazing. I don't forget the name, but yeah. Well, we're really happy you joined us and you found us, and I can't wait to hear more about your community jam sessions that are starting to happen. Maybe you'll find yourself organizing a workshop in your community. I don't know.
Yeah, after 303, who knows?
What kind of words of advice do you have for anybody that's sitting on the academy fence?
Well, actually, I thought about this a lot, and I wrote something down. So I'm just going to read it. And so I had a lot of trepidation about signing up for one more online course, thinking I've signed up for courses before and never done a thing with them, hoping this wouldn't be the same. Marla is so engaging and the lesson so effective that I jumped in and just did it. Absolutely. And I would say take the leap for the skills and even more for your heart. The private Facebook community is so dear to me. When one of us suffers a loss, celebrates a win, or is sick, or a myriad of other things that happen to us in our everyday lives, we share it with our FDA family. truly, we do. I'd say getting off the fence and choosing to join us is a huge gift that you can give yourself.
Oh, that is beautiful. That was really, really beautiful, Errol.
Thank you.
I you have a lot of beautiful comments in our Facebook in the Facebook Live that I want to invite you to read about you sharing your story and being so honest with everybody. And there's just a lot of love there for you right now and support. Um, and Laurie says she fell in love with Indian food
Oh,
too. You have to teach us some recipes.
wow.
So I invite you to read the comments in the Facebook feed, and we just want to thank you for your sharing. And I can't wait to meet you. I know it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And she makes an amazing zucchini cacao banana bread. That's just insane. I don't know. You've got the gift of creativity, really, and I'm happy that you're channeling all of the magic that I know you put into your food into the drum. So I'm excited to see what lies ahead, and I'm happy that you're drumming every day, and and that you're connecting to your daughter. She's really happy to see you glowing, and yeah,
Thank you. Love you, Marla.
too. So sweet. How you guys doing? So we have one more interviewee. Ebony Suede is not going to be interviewed today, but he says hello. And but our last interviewee is Kathy, and I'm excited to talk to her and hear about her drum story because she's also a musician. So Kathy, what drew you to learn about frame drumming? Because I know you're a musician, you're a sound healer, and was it like the missing thing in your? I'm curious, what drew you to learn?
Yeah, like you, I got started in music at a very young age. I was playing piano with my mom when I was about 3, and then started lessons, and then I started classical flute lessons, and I've performed my whole life. I've
Ah,
always loved music and performing. When it came time in grade school to pick an instrument, my mom wanted me to play flute, but my first choice was drums, and my mom and dad said absolutely not. So it was okay. Flute has been an amazing part of my journey, but I always found ways to play drum. Like, when I lived in Santa Monica, I'd go to drum circles, I'd take my bongos or djembe. I was always drumming something, but it never felt right, actually. And then about, I would say maybe 5 years ago, I thought, I really want to learn how to drum. And I started looking online at things, and I saw people playing frame drum. Not you, but I saw other people playing frame drum, and I got a $30 Remo frame drum, and I started playing. And I fell in love with the frame drum. I read Lane Redmond's book on when the women were drummers. And so I was so into it. And one night, just like Peter and Arrow and probably lots of people, I was just looking for more drum videos, and I found you. And when I did, it was almost like my heart skipped a beat. It was like, this is what I want to learn. And that was about 4 years ago. And I have a really super busy job. My life was really complicated at the time, and I did all of your free videos. And I wanted to do FDA 101 so badly. I couldn't afford it, and I didn't have time for it. So I just kept looking at all your free content, and then and saving the money for it, and I just kept growing in what I was doing by watching you, and listening to your CD and all of that stuff. And then last year I said, oh no, this is the year. I have to do this for myself. It was like when you're hungry or thirsty and you just have to have something. It was kind of like that. It was like an
Mm.
amazing um, investment in myself. And I did it, and I jumped straight into 202. And it was actually great because it was right where I needed to be. And as a music teacher myself, I can say you're an amazing music teacher. It's like you give people everything they need. There are videos, fast, improv, slow, breaking it down for us, giving us the PDFs so that we can follow along, and so much encouragement. And as Arrow and Pete said, the moderators and the FDA community, it is like a family to answer questions. And I loved when you did the live um, sessions where we could ask questions. That was really amazing. And honestly, it was the best thing I have ever done. Literally, I mean, it's interesting. It was the fast playing that piqued my interest, that made me want to study more. But interestingly, it was the way you teach trance rhythms and things like that, just slowing things down and getting into that groove. I have built that into my daily meditation practice and
Mm.
into my sound healing practice. I use a lot of different instruments in sound healing, as most practitioners do. And um, I had never thought about drum. Like I play native flutes, I play gong, I play lots of the bowls, all the bowls, crystal and Tibetan, rattles, all kinds of things. I had never thought about playing the frame drum. And my clients, they love it. It unlocks something in them. It opens something in their chakras. It helps them balance. It's been a remarkable journey. And I can't thank you enough. It's been such a remarkable journey. Yeah.
Wow. Where do you live?
I'm in Southern California in the mountains in a little arts community called
A
Idlewild.
while.
Idlewild up in the mountains. Yeah.
Wonderful. Wow. I love hearing about your drum story. That's really and tell me, so you do sound healing, and how long before learning the frame drum were you doing the sound healing work?
Oh, years and years, maybe a decade or so. So it was like, yeah, a decade or so of doing sound healing without realizing, without even hearing other people incorporate drum into their sessions, which I've been going to for maybe 20 years. Yeah. So, and the interesting thing is when I started doing frame drum with you, 202, maybe it was a month before I started integrating it into sound healing. You encouraged me in one of your emails. You said, I can't wait to see how you build it into sound healing. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. There's an idea I hadn't thought of. And I just started experimenting with it. But within a very short time, I had rhythms and everything that I needed to start integrating it. Yeah, it was just amazing, and amazing to build it into my meditation practice, because I've been very much about other kinds of sound and then just straight meditation, right? I do walking meditation, I did swimming meditation, all kinds of things, but drum meditation, the trance rhythms are just phenomenal. They're amazing. Yeah, that was really eye-opening for me.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to keep us all alive. I think that, for those who catch the wave, I think that music and the healing modality, connecting to the healing modality through music, whether it be frame drumming or anything, is really a source that we can tap into at any age, anytime we can just pick up that instrument and play and connect. And um, wow. So, what was your favorite thing about the academy? What would you say your favorite thing about learning?
Oh gosh, that's really hard. There are just so many things. I love learning all the rhythms, all of the technique. Like when I was moodling around on my own, I knew how to do doom taka pa. That was about it. And I was just improvising on that. But you taught us so much to make our playing richer, more alive, more fun for people to listen to. It was like my husband would say, wow, that sounded amazing. And
Ah,
after that, he was like, oh, there she goes again. So that was amazing. And there was another thing. You rekindled my love of odd meters.
hmm.
And I loved odd meters as a musician, as a flutist, playing jazz and things, you get into the odd meters. I would never have figured that out on my own. in a million years. And so, you know, for people who are new to this, odd meters, things like 5 beats, 7 beats, 9, 15, you know, they're challenging, but they are oh so much fun to play. They're really great to play. And you've taught us a lot of them. And so
Yeah.
that's where I'm living right now. The other thing that you taught was how to improvise. And as a long time, lifelong musician, I love improvising. And on the drum, I was very skittish about that. Like what do I do? Like where do I start? Like I would just before I start studying with you, I would just I would just play and not really have a concept of where I was going or what made it a good composition or interesting. And it was like the day you began teaching that, it was like you shined a spotlight on it. And I went, of course, that makes so much sense. And I never would have figured that out on my own ever. So for people
Whoa.
who don't, you know, who are on the fence, you know, I thought as a musician, oh, I can figure this out myself. It's like anything in music. You grow so much by having a master teacher work with you. And even though it wasn't one-on-one, the way you do the videos and the handouts and the live Q&A, it was like it was one-on-one. It really was. It was amazing. It's very much like that. You're a fabulous teacher. Yeah.
Oh, that means so much. Thank you so much. It really means a lot hearing that and just hearing your feedback and your experience. You know, I create this like they're like my babies. You know, these programs. They're yeah, and so to hear your opinion and how you coming into it as a musician and all the things you learned from it, really wonderful. So thank you very much. And I'm also a flautist turned percussionist, and I think that anybody, right, if you play another instrument and you just change it to the drums, it's we can.
Exactly.
So would you like to play for us?
I would. I'm going to play
Are you nervous to play
I'm
for us?
nervous. Yeah, yeah. Even as a classical and performing musician, like this is way out of my comfort zone because like I am new to frame drum still. But I'm going to play a 15 beat rhythm, and you taught this when you taught the 528. And as musicians and sound healers, we know that 528 hertz is the frequency of love and transformation and manifestation and all that stuff that you reminded us of when you taught that. So I want to play that, and I'm going to improvise on it a little because,
Oh.
yeah, just a little, because and this is still I only learned this from you like what a month or so ago, so this is still really new. But it's 528 equals 15. So in my improv, I'm going to do 528 and then 7 8, which also equals 15, and broken up by some other little things. So we'll see how it goes. All right. That's it. That's a hard one.
Yeah, you were like you I like your goals. I like that you were like, I'm gonna go for it, and you did it. And this is what it's about. It's like life is short and you have a lot of love. I'm gonna read the love for you on our in that we have in our little comments. Beautiful, great job. You inspire me. Thank you for sharing your story. Beautiful, Kathy, to bring your sound healing and rhythm. I can relate to this beautiful story. Yeah, that.
Thank you, everyone. And I'll just add, where I come from in showing up today and doing that and knowing it wasn't going to be perfect. And like Pete said, hope there are no mistakes. You never know. But for anybody who's like afraid to do this because they're afraid to make mistakes, it's like you'll gain so much courage. And as Miles Davis said, there are no mistakes. We learn from them, right?
Oh,
So
what is the exact quote that Miles said? Do you know?
no,
We
but I
have to
always
find it.
hear it said as there are no mistakes, but I'm sure there's more to it than that. But it's what I try to keep in mind throughout the whole course. It's like there are no mistakes. We learn from them and we grow. So, but thank you, Marla. Thank you for everything that you've done. It's just opened up a whole wonderful world for me. It's been like Arrow and Pete said, it is totally transformational. It changes our lives and it's beautiful. So, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Kathy. Well, Kathy volunteered last time to offer something to our community, and it didn't work because of the date, but maybe this year for our 2023 students, we may have an offering from you. Well, we can talk about that, but you might, if you join our academy, you can maybe experience her work as well. And I'm going to bring everybody in the video here and just thank everybody for joining today. I know that your time is valuable and precious, and each second counts, each beat counts, and I really want to thank you for saying yes to this interview. And I love hearing your drum stories. It's really fun, It's like we're all attracted. We all get sucked into this. We hear the call, and we're like, "What is this?" I certainly had no idea I'd be a frame drum specialist. I was a jazz flautist. I had no idea that I was going down this road. So, um, if you want to reach out to any one of these particular beautiful souls, you can find them in the replay. You can just tag them, and they can answer any questions if you want to ask them anything. And if you have any more questions about the Academy, just want to recap, our doors are currently open, and they're open at the early bird pricing. So that means you save $150 on our single courses and $349 on our bundle. And that ends Friday. That's this Friday. That's this coming Friday. And then I'm also offering a special Facebook bonus where we have these 2 free bonuses that we offer. That is expired on the website, but I'm going to continue to offer that to the end of the day for anyone who signs up today. And then you get 2 free bonus trainings if you sign up. So that's about another added value of $200. And you can just, to get that after you enroll, you just send me an email and say, I would like the Facebook bonus. And our website is framedrumacademy.com. And our courses are currently lifetime access. So as people have said, I give a lot of videos. I kind of went crazy in creating these academies. Courses, I should have I should have made them like a lot longer period, but I make them for 4 months. They're 4 months of live training, but you get lifetime access to everything. So if you're busy, you can always watch them. And oh, look at this little guy. Arrow, who is this little guy?
This is Martha Louise.
What a name. How does Martha Louise react when you drum?
She just loves it. She's very calm about it. I take her to open mic night with me, and she just sits under my chair and is like totally calm. So
Wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah, we need to create a frame drum academy for pets one day, and rhythms for animals, and there's so much to do. So thank you so much, Kathy. Thank you so much, Pete. Your music studio is amazing. It's really amazing. And thank you so much, Arrow. And thank you so much for everybody for watching. And I look forward to seeing you in class. Our first class download is not till the 11th of June. So that gives you lots of time to get a drum, And also we have Cooperman Drums as our Academy sponsor. So everybody who enrolls gets a 10% discount off 2 of their drums. So it's a great gift. And we're grateful for Cooperman's sponsorship. And Pete, you want to leave us with a rhythm? It looks like you're playing something. You want to leave us with a little groove? You got to unmute yourself though. Unmute. Oh, I have to unmute you. And if you have a drum and you want to play along, we'll close a little drumming. Here, I got it. Okay. There we go.
You got it?
Yeah, you're gonna leave us a little group.
You hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. All right. Bye bye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for joining.
Later. Thanks, Marla.